Yo, what's crackin' lackin' with y'all today? We got a little story time type of thing. It's a big question that I often get. It's an essential part of the person I am today. A lot of you guys watching this video, you've either contributed or you've watched from the outside my journey as a weightlifter and how that has shaped the man I am today. But my journey as a weightlifter had to start somewhere. So today, I'm going to explain how I got into weightlifting, why I got into weightlifting, and how it's resulted in this. So if you're cool with that, then let's just get started. Commit! As you guys may or may not know, I started partaking in Olympic lifting in October of 2014, so almost 6 years from now. But my weightlifting journey started a few years before that. My parents first joined a CrossFit gym in, I want to say 2011, 2012. And as a young kid, I would come to the gym, see what they do, want to do it. And the cool thing about CrossFit is they have a CrossFit Kids program where really you just do the same thing as your parents, but in a modified version that kids can do. So as I would watch my parents do their WODs, kind of dabble, do workouts with them as well, I started kind of doing personal training classes for CrossFit specifically at the CrossFit gym. And then from there, I really developed a love for the technique. And at this time, I was still heavy into football. I played football for 5-6 seasons, all the way from the end of my elementary school to my middle school career. I figured doing the CrossFit workouts would help contribute to bettering myself at that. In football, I usually played running back and safety, and so that requires you to be fast. So I did a lot of squats early on. I wanted to get my legs strong, but really everything that CrossFit was just gave me more stamina in the games, made me a lot harder to tackle, and made it easier for me to tackle other bigger guys. And so during football season and as I was doing CrossFit workouts, a few members of the gym convinced me to do a CrossFit Kids competition. And so my first CrossFit Kids competition was in Daytona Beach, Florida at the Ocean Center. It was the Bacon Beatdown Kids division. I think it was ages 10 to 12 years old or something like that. I wore my football gloves during the workouts and I actually got first place. That kind of boosted my confidence a little bit. It was a competition where I just relied on myself. I didn't have to rely on my teammates or my coaches or anyone else. Throughout my football career, I was kind of dealt a bad hand with bad teams. With my 5-6 seasons, I maybe won like 5 to 7 games. And though I had a bad team a lot of years, I had fun with it because I got to play with my friends and I did well, so I got to get the ball a lot and I got to play a lot non-stop on the field. But after getting that taste of competition with CrossFit, and I kept doing more CrossFit competitions and winning them. But once I graduated middle school, going into high school, I decided that I didn't want to play football anymore just because I knew the commitment that it went to being a high school football player. So I stopped playing football and decided that I was just gonna do CrossFit competitions until one day, international level lifter Maddie Rodgers, if you're watching this video, you probably know who she is, but if you don't, here's some pictures in her Instagram. But she came to my gym to do weightlifting seminars. I think it was just bi-weekly with some of the kids who were interested. So of course, little tween Kobe liked the lifting portion of CrossFit and I liked getting the big muscles and seeing my body change. So I joined that. And week by week, I noticed myself getting better. And one of the most satisfying parts about it was just constantly finding another thing to fine tune. I think with my football career, I kind of felt like individually I reached a cap and that I was kind of limited by my team's performances. But with weightlifting, you can always find things to get better at and sharpen your tools at. And so I was really fond of all the different ways you can get better. Obviously, the better your technique is, the more efficient you are, and the more weights you lift. But at that time, that was kind of a new concept to me. So I was like, oh, you're telling me if I keep my feet flat for longer, I can lift 90 instead of 80? So I think the realization of that kind of just made me super hungry to get better and better at that, and I did. And eventually, after doing that class for long enough, I decided to join Maddie's weightlifting team, Team Oli Concepts, which I would go on competing for years. And also, in the beginning of my weightlifting career, I was also playing basketball. Obviously, if you know anything about me when I was younger, I was short, skinny, I was just a small kid. So basketball and my size didn't really mix at the time until I started lifting, and all the squatting I was doing helped me build my legs, and so that I didn't have to do a full-on jump shot and heave my body into a free throw. And so not only was I getting the satisfaction from seeing my numbers grow and just my technique looking prettier, it was cool for me to see like, oh, training 5 days a week can make me shoot three-pointers. And so just looking back, seeing how weightlifting kind of completed me as an athlete, that just got me addicted to the sport. And so if you've ever lifted before and you were ever a beginner in weightlifting, you know that at first, the first year or two, you get PRs like crazy. So it's easy to get addicted when you're lifting 10 pounds, 15 pounds, 20 pounds more week by week by week. And so I was like, dang, I kind of like this, you know, posting my little Instagram videos, being the kind of phenom at the CrossFit gym. I went from being one of the better players on my bad football team to just being my own athlete that continued to grow and continued to get better. And so I was able to fully soak in the victories better because I know that was all me. Everything that I lifted out on that platform or out in training to get that PR, that was from the work that I put in. Also, inversely, when I would miss a lot of lifts or maybe not do as well in competition, I know that I have to hold myself accountable and kind of reflect and see how I can change that for the future. I have nobody to blame but myself. And so I started competitions in the 39 kilo weight class, weighing 35, 37 kilos, which is like 75, 80 pounds. But the beautiful thing about that was I was lifting against other 80-pound kids. It's not like football where I was 80 pounds getting chased by 120-pound kids. And now, fast forward 5, 6 years to this day, and I'm still addicted to the journey to fine-tune technique in order to increase weights. And so from the beginning of my weightlifting career to now, I've slowly, step by step, worked my way up the chain to state competitions, winning those, getting state records, to qualifying for nationals, then medaling, winning those, and now international competitions 5, 6 years later, and hopefully soon medaling in those. But that's just a more detailed summary on that question that I know I frequently get. Also, something that I feel like would be cool, comment where I was progress-wise in my lifting career when you first started following me or subscribing to me or found a video of me on Instagram. Don't be scared to comment. Again, I've said this before, but I read all my comments, I reply to all my comments. So with that said, I hope y'all enjoyed this little story time. If there's any other questions about how I got into weightlifting or how it kind of affected my other sports, comment, DM, send them my way. I'll be happy to answer them. I hope y'all enjoy. Merry Money Moves Monday to you people. Continue to slay out on these money moves, and next week's comp week, so stay tuned. Next Monday, 9 a.m. sharp. Y'all already know the deal, I don't gotta explain it. Hashtag 9 a.m. gang if you're with the movement. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and we out. Ah!